Hey everybody, welcome to this week's GeekStorm. I've got Lauren with me today. Sean's out for this particular episode. This is like our 175th, 176th episode, something like that. We're really rolling along now. It always helps to have an extra host, so I'm glad she got added to the mix. We are downtown Kokomo at Kokomo Toys and Collectibles. If you notice there's something behind us, it's Spider-Man. Now, down at this particular store, this guy, he buys all these life-size figures all the time, and they're super high-end, and this one's about $1,200. If you want one, ask him, he can order it for you. Probably get it for $11.99. But he buys them, but he doesn't really sell them. He likes them because he likes toys, and this whole place is full of that. So if you've never been to Kokomo Toys and Collectibles, come downtown, and it's just 2 doors down from Comics Cube, where you could probably see Sean half the time, and he's just got tons of these things, besides all the toys. And next week, and then I'm done plugging it. Next week he's got a pop sale. He bought a truckload of pop figures, Funko Pops, like over 1,000 more than he normally has. 1,000 individual, no doubles, pop figures. So they're all going to be here. They're all going to be on sale. So come on down to Kokomo Toys and Collectibles. Your collectible. I don't know. I made that up. Sorry. That's what I give you a pitch bed. Anyway, we're gonna start off on a couple sad notes. We did lose a couple people. I won't say icons. Well, one's definitely an icon, but starting out with Martin Landau. Mm-hmm. My biggest memory of Martin Landau is when he stole the Oscar from Sam Jackson for Pulp Fiction. I remember that specifically, thinking what a horrible moment that was in entertainment.
That was for Ed Wood?
It was Ed Wood, yeah. He was Bela Lugosi and Ed Wood.
He was fantastic in that, though.
He was good. He was good.
That was kind of his, like,
Yes. He's definitely somebody who got more popularity in his middle to late ages than anything. He started out in the 50s with Mission Impossible, and then the 70s with Space 1999. Did you see Space 1999? Yeah. I enjoyed that and I was thinking, before I did the actual research on it, I was thinking, well, yeah, that was just another kind of a Star Wars knockoff, but it was actually the 2 years before Star Wars came out. Yeah. It was 76, 77, something like that. So that was kind of a cool concept anyway, nuclear waste on the far side of the moon, because that's where we would put it, and it blows the moon out of orbit, which would destroy the Earth, and nobody really covered that in the TV show, but
you know.
It was interesting. So that's it for Mountain Landau. Sorry, he passed away, and he's still. You know, if he knew he was going to die, he probably shouldn't have stole that Oscar from Sam Jackson. I mean, if you're not going to be around that much longer, at least let the guy have his Oscar.
Then he couldn't be in the X-Files movie in '98.
He was in the X-Files movie, and kind of a wackadoo character in that.
But, Dr. Kurzweil.
Kurzweil, that's right. That's right. And then we had George Romero pass away. Tell us about George Romero.
What do you want me to tell us about George Romero?
I feel like I've been talking, and I don't want to, I don't want to Sean you. I'd like for you to co-host.
George Romero.
Sure.
Most known for, Night of the Living Dead,
right.
Dawn of the Dead,
right.
Kind of. I'm going to say pioneer. I'm going to use that.
Absolutely.
He was pioneer.
Absolutely.
For that, he not only did something that really not a whole lot of people were doing in the limelight, was the whole zombie thing. Kind of brought that into popularity as far as cinema goes, but he used it as a metaphor as well as modern day society.
Right.
I actually got to go to Pittsburgh to visit my brother-in-law, and we went to the mall where they shot Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, wow.
The cemetery where they shot Night of the Living Dead. It was fun.
Cool.
It was good.
He's definitely a father of modern horror. I would say that's where modern horror started, and he inspired many, many filmmakers and writers and to, kind of change the gears as far as, like you said, making horrors instead of just about, okay, we have this cool monster, let's build a movie around it, but let's make social commentary.
Tell a story.
Yeah.
And he pushed the boundary as far as casting goes.
Absolutely.
As far as everything.
Yeah. It was during the Vietnam era, and had a black main actor, a black hero, and something that maybe isn't as surprising today, but certainly was at the time to do that. Now, it was an independent film. It was a smaller deal, but it got on the big screen. Definitely.
We really wouldn't have a whole lot of the horror movies that we have today if it wasn't for Romero doing that.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably true, and you can say that about a lot of things where maybe somebody else would have come on down the line and picked it up and done it, but he did it. He was the first. He was the guy, and he had kind of a singular vision about how that kind of stuff works, and so it's sad to see him go. All these people are, the people in pop culture in general we're of an age now where all our heroes or all our people that we grew up on are starting to pass away. So it's kind of a more and more prevalent thing to see something like that happen. But he was He was a giant in the industry.
He will be missed.
He will be missed. Let's talk about Game of Thrones.
Awesome.
It's awesome that you're here. I won't say it's awesome Sean isn't here, but it's awesome that you're here so we can talk about Game of Thrones, because this was the most watched, if I remember correct, the most watched HBO season premiere ever. Now, maybe that had a lot to do with the fact that we had to wait an extra few months for it, or maybe the fact that it's ramping down or ramping up, however you look at it. But it's just a really good episode. We're in season 7 now. This is gonna be a shorter season, 7 episodes.
Yes.
7 episodes. And this one didn't disappoint, Lauren.
That could be detriment, though.
Okay, that's true.
This is my problem with it. I love the episode.
Sure.
I'm gonna watch it. Gonna continue to watch it. But when you have Samwell bring out the giant book of exposition,
Sure.
just to progress the plot along, and I'm like, I realize it's only 7 episodes, so we kind of have to like move things quickly. But
Right.
it's just, I was like, really? We knew that. We did get to see Littlefinger's dagger.
Right. Tell us about the 2 little clues that were in the book of exposition.
The long shot that lingered on the book forever. You saw a picture of a dagger, which was Littlefinger's dagger, which is made of dragon glass,
used to stab Brandon.
Yes. As well as you saw a little tiny blurb about possible cures for grayscale, which is also rumored to be dragon glass, which is why Shireen, that they say that's why she got to only have dragon glass affect her face, but she didn't turn into one of the stone men or whatever they're called, because she lived on Dragonstone for a while and she was surrounded by all of that. We'll see. We got to see Jorah's arm. It's looking not so good.
Looking scaly. He needs to moisturize. There's no question.
Does.
He needs to find some ponds, perhaps. Some Aveeno.
I think he did. He made a good decision, though. You might as well go to the Citadel and see if the Maesters can cure you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. There was an article I saw where they were talking about, obviously, the prophecy back in season 5. Cersei, young Cersei, got to find out how she was going to die at the hands of her little brother. And the overhead shot where you see her standing on the map of Westeros that was getting painted, she was on the throat of Westeros, and Jaime was standing at the fingers of Westeros. So everybody's like, oh, is it going to be Jaime?
So
which I think is going to...
Jaime younger? Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's smart.
She was born first out of the twins. So.
I want it to be Tyrion, though. I want Tyrion to kill her.
Well, I think Tyrion's not a Lannister.
Who's Tyrion's gonna? Oh, man, there's so much. I know. There's so much. Is he a Targaryen too? Targaryens are everywhere. This guy was throwing it around.
Rhaegar goes around.
Really? I guess when you're the king, you can
do whatever you want.
As Mel Brooks said, it's good to be the king. Yeah, great episode. Really enjoyed it. Look forward to, and there's a rumor that maybe the second season, in which we're only going to see 6 episodes, will all be like feature length, maybe an hour and a half or so.
Oh, that would be fun.
That'd be great.
I heard that George R.R. Martin's going to be making an announcement soon.
Maybe the book.
Who knows?
The book that's 3 years late.
Yes, the book that's 3 years late. The current rumor going is that instead of the Winds of Winter being the Winds of Winter, he's actually just going to continue to write and make it one giant book and just wrap everything up because he doesn't want
that
to
would be
write
smart because
another book after the Winds of Winter.
And I said to Casey yesterday that I bet he passes away before he finishes this story, in print anyway, because he's an older fella, but also he takes so long to write these books, and he's on book like 5 or something like that.
This will be book 6. When's the winter supposed to be book 6?
So I bet we don't see the end, or like if he's smart and wraps it up early, that would be
probably be what he should do.
Yeah.
We saw the White Walkers. They have the giants now.
Right.
Do you think we're gonna see a zombie Hodor?
No, I hope not. I hope not. That would be mean.
It would be.
He's a beloved character.
You don't know. It could be. He could be walking around with the masses of the dead.
On a weird side note, I was watching yesterday. I watched Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
One of the Cornetto trilogy, and the guy who plays the Hound. Is in that movie. He's like the grocery store big thug dude.
Yeah.
It's weird. He was bald though, so I didn't recognize him at first until that he's got the pronounced eyebrows and everything. But it was good to see him back. I mean, it's good to see all these characters back. That is one thing that was, I'm sure, very tough in an hour span, is trying to touch on all these particular storylines and characters and everything. Tell me, what do you think about that cold opening though?
Oh, it was amazing.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Arya is
Right.
the woman,
Right.
and she's going to. Here's the thing about that as well. Everybody seems to know what everybody else's business is going on.
Right.
Right now, where everybody is. I would think that the taking back of Winterfell by Snow would be news that was prevalent throughout the land.
Right.
Why is she going to King's Landing? I mean, I know she has this vendetta and she's got her list and she's
Right.
got to kill everybody.
Right.
But if I heard that my brother was back in Winterfell, my home, I would.
Maybe she's afraid that they'll stop her from doing those things.
Maybe, I don't know. I would go see that.
And definitely be easier if you're going to kill a guy. It's easier for. Let's say I wanted to kill Mike Dukes. He's behind the camera. Would I make a big production about it? Would I bring an army in to kill Dukes? No. I'd have my little assassin behind him right now, and he'd never see it coming.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Well, you know, she's got all of these. She can change her face at will.
Right.
You know, she would obviously hear that Sansa is with him.
Right.
I would, you know, at the very least, go see your sister.
Did you watch the behind the scenes thing at the end of the credits?
No, I didn't.
We watched it. It was pretty cool. And one of the guys, I don't know if it was Benioff or the other one, was talking about that cold opening, and they said we weren't planning on a cold opening until we saw, and I don't know the actor's name that plays
Walter Frey.
that plays Frey. They said when we saw him play himself and then play Arya playing him, and what an amazing performance he did. He said we wanted to throw that in.
It was fantastic because
he was really good.
Yeah.
That's one thing, and I've said it before on the show. I love to see actors act like they're acting, you know, like and you because you just see the layers, and it's
well, because the first line you were kind of like, oh, okay, is this like a flashback, like right before what's going on? And then as he continues talking, you're like, oh wait,
yeah,
I know what's going on.
you knew something bad was going to happen. That's for sure. So that was really cool. I don't know anything about next episode. I don't know if I looked at the.
I
next
tried
preview
to
for
remain
next one.
spoiler free.
Yeah.
I hope we see just a lot of deaths.
It's got to be.
I
This is
think-
the this is the end. If
Yeah.
if this whole series is a movie, this is the end of the movie, and this is where we wrap things up, and I'll finish All Family Business like Cersei did last season. So.
Yeah.
All right. How about let's talk about this Doctor Who thing.
All right.
You watch Doctor Who?
I do. I haven't watched last season.
Okay,
but,
I've only watched 5 or 6 of last season, of the current season, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. And I'm pretty much done with Capaldi. I think he's okay. The new companion is new and fresh and everything. So women, what are you gonna do?
I love it. My gender is a social construct.
Okay, so they named the 13th Doctor, which will be in the 11th season, whichever season's coming up.
Yeah.
And it's a female, and a lot of people have been talking about this forever. Even previous doctors have been talking about it back when they were being replaced, back in the 70s and the 80s.
It's been talked about forever. It's not
for whatever reason,
anything
there's
new.
been pushback from whoever. But I guess there's a lot of people in the internet that are dumb, that are stupid, that are.
They like to get their panties in a twist.
Yeah, like this really bothers me. This thing is happening, and I don't like that thing right there. And so some people don't like Doctor Who being a female. Here's the thing about that, and we've talked about this before on the show too, is news agencies will look for that one dissenting opinion because it's clickbait, because it's news, and they will throw it out there and make it seem like this is a big thing. A lot of people think this. I would guess 95% of Doctor Who fans and probably 80% of people in general don't care or are supportive of it. But you've got the vocal minority that don't like women. How do you feel about people that don't like women?
I'm not a fan. Here's the thing. The show is about an alien that changes his body.
It's true.
His or her body. He doesn't really have
Technically
a
not
gender.
a man.
Exactly.
2 hearts.
It's 2 hearts.
I know men that have no heart, let alone 2.
He can look like whatever he wants to look like because
Right.
it changes
Right.
whenever something happens, something traumatizing.
Right.
He can really technically regenerate at will because he's done that a couple times.
Right.
I don't know why. I've got nothing. Why?
Obviously, the argument should be about story and character and actors' skill and things like that. So,
yes, absolutely, and she's a fantastic actor.
She is. I've only seen her in a couple things.
I loved her in Broadchurch.
Did you watch? Was she in the American Broadchurch?
The British.
Okay, I didn't see the British one. I saw the American one. And then what else has she been in that I know her from?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've only seen her in Broadchurch.
Okay.
I know she's done things. She's got
yeah.
sense of. She was fantastic in Broadchurch.
Cool. And that was a good show. It was good enough to be made for an American version. Apparently, she's not good enough to be an American, but whatever.
Well, maybe she was. I never watched the American one.
So really, this is anti-American, to be honest.
She's
anti.
Oh, that British show being anti-American.
More British people coming out and taking American jobs. It's just I don't know things. But yeah, should be great. And we're actually seeing two things here. We're seeing, the big shift to a female doctor, which they really kind of laid the groundwork for last year with the female master.
Yeah.
But then also we're going back to a younger doctor too. She's, I don't know how old she looks to me like she's in her 30s. No, 40?
50.
What?
Whoa,
that woman is not
50
years old.
She looks really good.
He's gonna check that. Even if she's 45, she looks really good for that age. And maybe, but I'll say this: maybe the stills that they're throwing out aren't, current. I don't know. Well, the video they did where she turns around, that was obviously new. So
yeah.
she looks great for that age. She looks great for any age. Let's say that. So.
What is so wrong about just having like a role model that young girls can look up to?
I don't know.
I'm still on the people getting mad about it.
Yeah,
I think.
I don't
You see a bunch
understand
of little girls running around in hoodies, and if that's going to be her uniform as
These
a
are
doctor.
The same three guys that didn't like the Ghostbusters remake
Yeah.
because it was female are upset about.
I know.
Doctor.
I don't understand expending that much energy, emotional energy, on being upset at something that's
It's
fictional.
not like Mr. and Mrs. Doctor means doctor. Okay, and whatever.
And someone tried arguing with me one time. They were like, "Well, what if they change the X-Files?" I'm like, "I'm all about it.
Sure.
Like, have the new generation or whatever come in, take over the files.
Sure.
Like, that won't upset me."
It kind of seemed like in the last TV show that was on. Was it on Hulu? When was the last? No, it was NBC. Was it NBC?
It was Fox.
Okay, it was on Fox. There was like a younger pair at the end of that series.
Now it went, and that was kind of satirical because
Sure.
they made them basically
Fanboys almost.
yeah, but
I was way off. I don't know where I read it at. No, you're right. She's 35.
35. Okay. Man,
okay.
I have an excellent. I don't know. I'm just making it up. So 35. But either way, she's younger than obviously than the current doctor, and maybe they're because I know ratings have been bad the last couple of years.
Yes.
Maybe they're gonna try to go for that younger skew again. And doing the female and doing a younger person is definitely the way to
I did see
try to get
someone
that back.
taunting those who were she's a female, that sucks. Someone was just going on like, oh, now we get hot companions, hot boy companions. It's gonna be awesome.
Great.
And that just sent them
Great.
even more into a rage.
Great.
I was like, that's fantastic.
Well,
you go,
I know
commenter.
Torchwood is coming back, but we can have Barrowman as a companion for a couple times.
I'm down for Barrowman
that would be
doing
bad.
anything.
Yeah,
But
he's great.
he's fantastic.
John Barrowman's great. All right, enough Doctor Who, enough female stuff. Speaking of X-Files, because you
Yes.
brought it up, just released a couple days ago is an X-Files. I'll say it's a performance. It's not a book on tape because it's not somebody reading a book. It is a full performance with sound effects and cast. You've got David Duchovny, Gillian Anderson, Mitch Pileggi,
The Lone Gunman.
William B. Davis,
William B. Davis, yes.
all three gunmen, and I think that's it.
Yes, there are some other voices.
Because it
that
kind of
nobody-
shocked me when like Doggett, it wasn't Doggett,
Yeah.
And, like, okay, what's Robert Patrick
Well,
doing?
he's doing.
He can't come.
He's
and-
doing that Scorpion show.
Yeah, but this takes 10 minutes. You go honestly. You go in. It's like this. I know on Thursday I come in here and at 10 o'clock I'm going to be done in a half hour. It wouldn't take him that long to read those lines. He doesn't have a major part. He's kidnapped halfway through it, or in the first episode. But basically, it is a. No, I want to say it's serialized, but they do break it up into episodes. It's about 4 hours long to listen to, and it's an Audible exclusive. So if you don't have Audible.com or that app on your phone, that's what you need to get to listen to it. And it's a new, fresh X-Files story. It's not set in the present. It seems like it's set. Lauren and I kind of thought between the end of the regular TV series and I Want to Believe.
Well, I think after I Want to Believe,
Okay.
but before the new stuff.
Before the new stuff,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Because they talk about their baby, and he's out.
They're still living together in seclusion.
Yeah, he's been adopted. They have alternate identities, witness protection. So, how far did you get into it? How far are you into it?
I'm not very far into it at all. But I've enjoyed what I have listened to so far. The radio dramatization did kind of throw me off. I've listened to a few books on Audible before where they've done that. There's a Star Wars book that I listened to where it sounded like they were on a ship the entire time, so you had like just kind of white noise in the background, and that's kind of distracting. Yeah. And these sound effects are kind of distracting to me. I mean, I'm enjoying it because it's X-Files and I'll enjoy it regardless. But the way they chose to do that with all of the different sound effects, like someone cocks their gun, you hear a gun cock and all that stuff, it is kind of distracting because I just want to focus on the story and what's going on with these characters and the overall story in general.
The dramatizations are hard in general, and not even for me, not even because of the sound effects, but because it takes a different narrative bent. It's not somebody reading a book that I could go to the bookstore and read for myself in the narrator's voice. There is no narrator. The characters have to narrate everything that they're doing. I'm going to move my glasses now. Oh, here, let me move this out of your way, Lauren. This is my phone. I'm going to put it over here. And that really gets distracting sometimes, how much scene setup that the characters themselves have to do, because it's not natural. It's not the way we speak naturally. You see me do this, so I don't have to tell you I did it.
Yeah.
You know, this is almost like a radio play. So it is very different.
The way that Audible released American Gods, and they did a format like that, but I like the way they did it because they had a narrator who would narrate the parts, and then when it came to someone speaking their line, the guy playing Shadow spoke his line.
Okay, that'd be cool.
And I thought that worked a lot better than the way this is going, and I kind of wish they had done that. Like just had a central narrator that would narrate the exposition, and then everybody speak their lines when it was time to speak their lines.
I listened to a lot of Star Wars books this year, and they all have sound effects, but they're not like that. They're not narrated like that, or they're not performed like that. They have usually one person doing all the voices, but like I said, and I think I said this to you when we were talking about it, that Duchovny is so monotone and so flat anyway that it's not as prevalent with him that you're taken out of the story because that's just him, whereas Gillian Anderson is trying to perform. She's trying to perform not only her part, but she's trying to perform, the direction, the stage direction also. So she almost sounds silly during parts of it. But it was cool. It was cool. And I'm not spoiling anything for you, but because we just said the gunman and William B. Davis and all that. Nearly everybody in X-Files lore comes out of the woodwork in this thing, and I've got maybe 40 minutes left on it, and they explain how and why, and Back from the Dead and all that. They go into how that's happening, but this is definitely not something where the casual X-File fan or even a new X-File fan could jump in, because when Mulder is talking to the cigarette smoking man, you don't know why he hates him unless you knew why he hates him. It's not explained in the book, or it's not explained in this story at all. It's assumed that you know who these characters are. It's assumed you know who killed who and whose father is whose father and all that. So but for the fans, it's really good. I don't know how much time we have.
It's been a minute.
All right. And then just lastly, we're going to hit this trailer for Guillermo del Toro. I butchered that just like Sean.
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro. It's got a new trailer out for a movie called The Shape of Water. And it's supposed to be kind of World War II set horror romance. Now, the last horror romance I saw was awful, which was also Guillermo del Toro.
Crimson Peak?
Which was Crimson Peak, and it was awful, and I didn't like it at all. This trailer at least looks better.
How did you think Crimson Peak was horrible?
It wasn't. It wasn't a ghost story. It wasn't.
That's not what it's supposed to be. It's Guillermo. That's how we tell stories.
If it's not a ghost story, don't tell me it's a ghost story in the trailer.
Well, no, that was the editor's fault. That wasn't his fault.
Okay, I didn't say I hate Guillermo del Toro. I didn't say I dislike him. I said I didn't like the movie. Okay, don't put words in my mouth.
That movie was fantastic.
Right. Actually, and I just saw it I want to say maybe 3 months ago for the first time.
Really?
For the first time, because I had heard that it wasn't that great, so I didn't go see it. I did. I heard it wasn't that great, so I didn't go see it. And you know what? The box office backed me up, Mike. Don't snicker at me from behind the camera.
I sat in the theater and I watched it.
I sat in the theater and watched it too. It was fantastic.
You're the two. You're the ones that went to see it.
I saw it with 7 other people.
It made $14 at the box office, and everybody knows it. And they're $14 is sitting right here. Anyway, this looks all right. You know.
Yes.
Right.
This looks all right.
It
Trailer
reminded me kind of The Devil's Backbone a little bit.
Okay.
Like the stylization of the water and everything.
Okay.
I just watched the trailer right before we started filming. Yeah, I'm all about him.
It looks like, to me, it was very Burton-y, if that's a word, and it's not, so I just coined it. It looked very much like an Edward Scissorhands, like freaky anti-hero thing, girl who falls in love with it, or girl who gets close to it, or however you want to say it, and villain who wants to keep you away, and it was very much like that. But I love that era, and it should be okay. It should be worth watching anyway.
He does. Pan's Labyrinth took place in World War II, didn't it? Was it World War II or World War I?
I don't know. Did not see Pan's Labyrinth.
He does.
On purpose. Just
Heard that stuff too?
didn't interest me, yeah. And it made $22 at the box office because somebody threw in an extra $1. That's what happened on that one.
That movie's fantastic as well.
Let me tell you something. In hindsight, the box office has proven me right on these. Okay, neither one of these movies were like blockbusters or anything.
They don't have to be blockbusters to be good movies.
They have to at least make money.
No, they
have
don't.
to make money back. People vote with their dollars. Mike Dukes did not come and say, "Look, you have got to go see Crimson Peak. It is awesome." Number one, we don't have that kind of relationship. Number two, he didn't feel so compelled by its awesomeness that he had other people go watch it. That's what you do about Spider-Man. That's what you do about
I told
Wonder
people to
Woman.
go watch Crimson Peak. It was good.
You told the wrong people. Did you tell the person sitting next to you in the theater? Because they were already there. That doesn't make any sense, Lauren. Last real quick thing. I just saw Spider-Man. Lauren said she saw it, and she saw it the same day she saw Wonder Woman.
Yes.
I was, again, talking to Casey about the difference between the two, and that the action in Spider-Man was so frantic, was so staccato, frenetic. The editing was almost like one of these crappy Transformer movies. It's like, we don't want you to see maybe not how great these graphics are, so we're going to make things happen really quick. Whereas everything in all the action in Wonder Woman was slowed down, not even in real speed, but slowed down to show you how awesome they did and what a great job it was.
I liked Wonder Woman a lot more than Spider-Man. I think it's because I saw them back to
Back to
back.
back,
Like
yeah.
that probably wasn't a good thing. Spider-Man was entertaining.
I could have done. They were both around 220 or so, like that. I could have done with a little more Wonder Woman and just a hair less Spider-Man on as far as the time goes.
I love Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
He's fun in it.
Spider-Man was good. I enjoyed it. Kyan liked it, and maybe it was made for.
Well, see, because
for
I was
a
thinking
younger
about
audience.
taking my son Owen to go see it,
Yeah.
but I thought that he actually might get bored during it because of the staccato like scenes. Like he wouldn't really understand all the high school
Right.
teenage angst.
And I love that stuff.
That
I love
was going
all the partner
on.
stuff. It was great. It was a good movie. I'm not putting it down, poo-pooing on it in any way. It was a good movie.
My
But-
favorite part was his movie. The little movie he made while he was out in Berlin. I laughed
That was
really
good
hard
stuff.
during that.
Yeah, and the cap stuff and the cap thing at the end.
Oh, yeah.
That was very funny. But I feel so strongly about Spider-Man and Woman. I want you to go see these movies because they're really, really good.
Go watch Pan's Labyrinth
Nothing
if you
like
haven't
Pan's
seen
Labyrinth
Pan's Labyrinth.
or Crimson Peak.
Pan's Labyrinth is better than Crimson Peak.
Whatever. I don't know. It
should
could
watch it.
easily be. Maybe I'll never see
such a
Pan's
fan.
Labyrinth because I will keep that as like well, maybe it is a good movie, and that'll keep my opinion of his movies up. I didn't really like Hellboy that much, to be honest. It was okay. What? Are you sending me bad texts? No, okay. You will. Anyway, that's it for this week. I don't.
Have you seen The Devil's Backbone?
No. No. I mean, I have an ex-wife. If that's what you mean?
Kind of harsh on women today. What's going on?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know what that movie is. The Devil's Backbone?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Guillermo del Toro. It's fantastic. It's
Is
one of
it?
his earlier films.
Oh, that's probably why I haven't seen it.
You seen The Orphanage?
Because if there's somebody I don't think they're that great, I'm sure not going to go back and look for their older stuff.
Oh,
I'm trolling right now.
I know.
Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks to Lauren for filling in.
Thanks for having
me. We'll be back next week. I don't know who will be here, but somebody will. And because GeekStorm is important. It's important to us, to spread the word of I don't know.
Guillermo del Toro's
No.
movies.
That's it.
I'm not gonna hang out pamphlets.